Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is Dr. Shahid Hussain, and today we are going to elaborate another very important propaganda device, and that is glittering generality. This propaganda device is very pervasive, it's very common, and it's usually everywhere. But we do not notice, or we are unable to notice it. Ultimately, our attitudes and beliefs are being affected by this propaganda device, and we are totally unaware of this. Surely, this video lecture will benefit students and every part and parcel of the society, because this is the age of propaganda, especially when we are living in the contemporary digital era, and we are having the access to a lot of social networking sites which are full of propaganda messages, and our attitudes and beliefs are being affected in a subtle way, and we are totally ignorant of that. So glittering generality is our today's focus. We will be elaborating all the important aspects of this propaganda device. Glittering generality, associating something with a virtue word, is used to make us accept and approve the thing without examining the evidence. This is according to Lee and Lee 1939. So it's mean that a glittering generality, which is also called as a glowing generality, is an emotionally appealing phrase so closely associated with highly valued concepts and beliefs that it carries conviction without supporting information or reason. So this is point to notice that how much important is understanding the glittering generality. Such highly valued concepts attract general approval and acclaim. Their appeal is to emotions such as love of country and home, and desire for peace, freedom, glory, and honor. So these are the appeals which ultimately affect our attitude and behavior, and in a subtle way. These highly valued concepts ask for approval without examination of the reason. These highly valued concepts are typically used by politicians and propagandists. In the 1930s, the Institute for Propaganda Analysis popularized the term glittering generality as one of its 7 propaganda devices. And that is the reason that when we come across the academic writing on the propaganda devices in any of the book, we find glittering generality as part of the 7 most popular propaganda devices. Though there can be more propaganda techniques, but the most common and the most prominent propaganda devices which have been mentioned by the Institute of Propaganda Analysis are the 7. As written by Severin and Tankard in their book Communication Theories, the use of glittering generalities is so pervasive that we hardly notice it. We are unable to notice the glittering generalities because it's so pervasive. Everywhere the technique, the device of the propaganda, which is called as glittering generality, is in use. Especially when we talk about the advertising, we talk about the naming of the products, naming of the services, or in the politics, the presence of glittering generality propaganda device is everywhere. Let me tell you that one of the common uses of virtue words or glittering words is in the names of the products and ideas, such as we observe the word good with the names of the products. We observe the word fair. These are the glittering generalities. Similarly, we have noticed the names of the products like gold medal, and the name of the product is added on the third as the third word. For example, the gold medal flour, gold medal sugar, and things like that. And similarly, another glittering generality is the imperial margarine. Margarine is the name of the product, but imperial is the glittering generality which is added to the name of the product to make its acceptance at the masses level, without going into the details, without evaluation of the merits of the products. Then another glittering generality is world class. We often observe that the word world class is used in the explanation of the different products or the services. For example, airlines. Then another glittering generality is the wonder. For example, wonder bread. We come across this product in the market. Here, wonder is a glittering generality, and the bread is the bread, of course, that is the product. But wonder is a glittering generality that is ultimately attacking our attitudes and behavior, and its assumptions. There are built-in assumptions regarding this word, that it is this word, this product is something very unique, very awesome. Then another glittering generality, let me tell you, superior dairy or superior, and the name of any product can be here. When we read about the historical perspectives and the political history, one glittering generality we can observe that was truth squad. This is the glittering generality which was used in the political scenario in the history. Then another very common glittering generality is the best. And when we want to make some product accepted by the masses, we use the word the best. For example, the best coffee, the best milk. So these are the glittering generalities. These virtue words are used as glittering generalities, and these are basically propaganda techniques which we usually are unaware of these things. And there are many more examples we can find out from our surroundings, especially in the advertising world, in the commercials, whether in the print, whether in the electronic media, whether in the social media. We can find a lot of examples of glittering generalities all around. Similarly, some cereals and confectionaries are given names that will particularly appeal to children, and this is very common in advertising. When we observe advertising of the confectionaries of the cereals, which are the products directly related with the children, there are a lot of glittering generalities, a lot of special names, virtue words are used to attract the attention of the children, and they ultimately appeal the children to come to for the usage of that product, for the purchasing behavior. One very important point which I'm going to share with you, that sometimes the glittering generalities used by the advertisers can involve deception to a great degree. The glittering generality device shows up in areas other than advertising, such as politics. This is also very common and very pervasive in politics as well. For example, when we talk about the glittering generality in politics, let me share one example which has been cited by Saverin and Tankard in their book Communication Theories, that calling a proposed law a right to work law might be an effective way to get the law passed, because who would oppose the right to work? So this is a technique, this is a glittering generality, this is a propaganda technique which is used during the lobbying, during the politics, or during the legislation, or in the political arena, in the democratic worlds, in the democratic countries. Another very important aspect of glittering generality is that a glittering generality has two qualities. It is vague and it has positive connotations. Actually, the words and the phrases such as reform, courage, democracy, freedom, hope, patriotism, strength are terms with which people all over the world have powerful associations, and they may have trouble disagreeing with them. This is the strength, and this is the reason that glittering generalities are used across the globe by the different advertisers, by different propagandists, and even by the politicians, to gain the vested interests, to gain some benefits. However, these words are highly abstract and ambiguous, and meaningful differences exist regarding what they actually mean or should mean in the real world. But the issue is that most of the people do not think about the originality of these words. They don't get involved in high elaboration. Uh, Elaboration likelihood model I've already shared with you all people. I have shared 4 video lectures on the elaboration likelihood model. One was on the what is elaboration likelihood model. Then we discussed the central route to persuasion. Then we discussed the peripheral route to persuasion and what is elaboration. These 4 video lectures I've already shared with you, which is another very important aspect of mass communication, especially very important aspect to understand the persuasive communication and to understand the advertising. And of course, during that model, elaboration likelihood model, I discussed the elaboration aspect. I discussed the very important aspect of elaboration. So usually we people do not get involved into the high elaboration. We don't think about the messages, about the different aspects of the persuasive communication which we are receiving daily in a large volume. But we do not understand, we do not try to understand that what the advertiser, what the propagandists actually want, what the politicians actually want by this communication. And ultimately we get victim of this communication, and our attitudes and behaviors are manufactured in a particular direction. as explained by Herman and Chomsky in their book Manufacturing Consent, The Political Economy of Mass Media in 1988, which is the best propaganda model, which explains a lot regarding how the media is controlled by the pressure groups, by the different ideologies, and how the content which we are getting out of the media, how that media content is filtered by different devices, by different filtering machines. Simply, I would suggest all of you that we should uh, get involved into the communication, into the persuasive communication which we are receiving from across the globe, and we should involve in some sort of elaboration to understand and to elaborate the motives of the advertiser, of the sender, or of the communicator. And then I think we will be able to control a lot of things, and we will be able to control our attitudes and behavior in a positive way. So these were some of the important aspects of the glittering generality propaganda device. I hope you people have got it. If you haven't subscribed my YouTube channel, do subscribe it right now if you want to get the notifications of all of my upcoming video lectures. Inshallah, we shall meet again soon with another video lecture. Till that time, take great care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.